then. One wheel is like...
Alright Nathan, what are we doing today?
Alright, we're back on the Gemini, which you already kind of knew that we're back on the Gemini. But we're going to get it stopping today.
Hopefully.
This is all assembled. We've got new ball joints, new boots, new tie rod ends. But we still don't have any brakes. So what we need to do today is put the master cylinder in, put the calipers on. This is just on for show. There's no pads in it, nor a brake line. We need to flush out these old brake lines as well, and then hopefully have a stopping car today.
Yeah, today's objective is drive this down the driveway.
Yes.
And stop.
And stop. It's gonna be an achievement to get brakes back in this car. So let's get into it, I guess. Alright. Should we paint it red? Put a Brembo sticker on it?
Sure, why not?
Pretty cool red.
So what's happened with these brakes since we last saw them? I sent them off to a local brake guy to basically recondition them. He has put new pistons in it and new seals. A lot of people said we could have done it ourselves, and we did consider doing it ourselves, but the reason why we didn't is they're brakes. They're kind of important. You kind of want to make sure they stop, and we could have every chance of stuffing up. So aside from that though, the reason why I did send them off is because it cost me like 80 bucks to get these reconditioned and fixed up and be pretty much brand new. Because I was going there anyway because I needed to get this done. This is our master cylinder, and this is the same master cylinder that was on the car. I looked at a master cylinder replacement like you would for any other car. Like I've replaced the master cylinder on my HQ with a new one and everything like that. But for Geminis, it doesn't look like you can get a new replacement easily. So the easiest option was to get this one reconditioned. It wasn't cheap. I think it's cost me like 600 bucks to get these brakes done because there was a fair bit of money spent in doing this. But now this should be working. Talking to the brake guy, he believes that the reason why we had no brake pedal was probably this. I said, do you reckon what would be the cause of having no feel? He said, your master cylinder's probably shot to hell. So hopefully now we put this in and we have brakes again. Oh, and it also got expensive too because I got new brake lines. I wasn't gonna get new brake lines, but when I dropped them off, the guy's like, you probably need new brake lines. And I was
they
like,
look fine.
Yeah,
What's
fair.
he talking about?
Yeah, I know. I was kind of like, do I, don't I? I'm like, no, you know what? They're brakes, they're kind of important. Let's just do it. So we'll swap them out as well too. The only other thing that we don't have yet, and it seems to be like the topic of this whole car, is I still don't have split pins. I went looking everywhere during the week to try and find a split pin as big as this to be able to slide through there and use, and I just could not find them. No one seemed to stock them, and anything that I was going to order was going to take a couple of weeks to come in, so we don't have time for that. I did buy a rod, but it is 1/2 mil too big to fit into the hole. Don't need that anymore. Let's get into it, eh?
Yeah.
Our arch nemesis brake lines. They don't look bad, they are. They're like a little, you know when rubber starts to go old and crack and stuff like that?
Yeah.
That's sort of like what it's doing. It's pretty clear. I've always loved the simplicity of brake lines, the way that they just get held in by that clip.
If it fits.
Yeah, that's the question, because it almost looks like it doesn't like it. Oh, hang on. So underneath it, I didn't realise. Look,
Yeah, it's got a, yeah, I've seen it before.
the hex nut,
Yeah.
but for some reason, see, the hex nut is not. It's like,
Oh. It's rounded on one edge.
which this one's rounded.
Okay. Get the grinder.
Yeah, get the grinder, because I've never seen that before. See right there,
Yeah.
that bottom, or now the top piece.
Yeah, I can see it, yeah.
So
Flappy wheel.
flappy wheel grinder, maybe? The other side's the same. We're going to do the same for this side too. I'll check to see on the car to see whether we need to do it on both sides. It does as well.
Well, what we can do is like grind this one that goes onto there,
Yeah.
and we can just have the brake line hanging and grind it in the air, because we don't know, we don't want to twist it.
Twist it, yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Doesn't need much off, just needs like a little tiny bit taken off that hex there. Alright. Time to grind.
Modified.
Now that we have our little curved off bit, which side's it going to go in? Like a glove. All right, well that works.
Yep.
So,
Hard line and then repeat on the other side.
yeah. So we figured out that we can slide our brake pads in from behind like a race car. So basically, Geminis are race cars. Just like they do with their supercars, you can pull the pads in from behind without taking the caliper off. How
Yeah,
cool is
imagine
that?
it at the track. Hang on, this is what it'll be like. Ready? Yeah. Timmy, you got that other one?
Quick, hand me a slip pin. Hand me a slip pin. What do you mean we haven't got any?
Special order. Oh. Lovely.
That's good. Can you get the bolts in?
Yeah, I got one in.
Careful, there's a hoist there. You alright? He's trying to.
You know
he's trying to
those
look
little
brave.
knocks that break you?
He's trying to look brave. He's like, I'm good. I'm good. But this hoist actually does really hurt. You need to put like some pool noodles on the end of it or something.
Alright. That's done. Oh. Alright. So I've just got to grind that edge. I figured out what edge. The curve is on this edge here.
Yep.
So the one I want to grind is this one.
Yep.
That doesn't have a twist in it. Perfect.
Clip is here.
Oh, lovely.
That looks good.
Yeah.
Shall we try put some pads in just to make sure that we can do it
Yeah.
before we put the other
Yeah,
one in?
alright.
Alright, I'll grab the pads and some rod.
Yeah.
So we have our pads, they go into the back of the calipers like that.
Yeah.
Then we have these anti-squeal shims. Normally you just chuck them in, but there's this little arrow. See the little arrow there? Now, that could mean to us, either goes into the caliper goes in the upwards position, or it could go on the downwards position. It could go either way. So we thought, you know what we'll do? We've got this really good detailed book here on how to build a Gemini. And I was reading through, as you can see here, there's the anti-squeal shim there, right? For assembly, position the pads in the caliper followed by the anti-squeal shims with the arrows on the shim, here we go, this is where it tells you, installed as noted when dismantling. We didn't dismantle this, so it doesn't tell us which way to actually do it. It just says basically the way that it was, put it back the way it was.
Okay. One up, one down.
50-50 shot. You know what we'll do? We'll put one side up and put one side down.
Done.
Whichever one squeals, we know it's the right way. Surely it's got to be up.
Yeah, I reckon go
Surely
up.
it's got to be like this way up, yeah?
Yeah. No one says this way down.
Yeah, it's always this way
Like when
up.
there's an arrow on a box, what do you think?
It's this way up.
Done. All right. So
All right.
we're going to go off that theory.
So these are the original pins that go into the caliper. You can see they've been mushroomed off on one end. The caliper like wall goes there, and then they use like an R-clip. In this case, I'm just going to use a split pin to go in through there and hold it into place. And this side goes in the other side of the caliper, and then the two pads sit here. It's pretty basic. Trouble is, these are as rare as hen's teeth apparently in my world. But we have a viewer who's been kind enough to offer to send us some, and they should be probably next week. But so temporarily, what we're going to do is just make our own rod. So I machined down very accurately. We didn't have a lathe, so this is the next best thing. With our homemade lathe, this, to match the same diameter as what the original ones are. Close to, not bad. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to mushroom this end, drill a hole so I can put a split pin in, cut this to size, and this should be our temporary pins. This is probably major overkill, but it's only going to take a couple of minutes to make this up and put it in, and then hopefully the brakes should work as normal. We were just going to put in a piece of rod, just like this, but you can see the difference in diameter. We're worried about if we do test the brakes out here, that it might actually like just bend the rod and the pads might move. We might damage the pads or the rotors, so. Now we're going to sit that in the pad, figure out where we're going to drill this off. One hole there. There is our homemade pin.
Beautiful. Hey, look mint.
3 more and we're done. We can put them in.
While Michael was doing that, I went ahead and looked through the book, and I've torqued these up to 50 Newton meters. So the hub to the rotor is 50, and I've done the brake caliper, which is what I've never done before.
Oh really? You just usually go tight?
I just usually just go tight.
So do I.
So I've torqued that, and I've torqued them up. All the brake lines are now on, so everything's done up tight. Hopefully no leaks.
All right, let's bring it down a little bit and we'll see if these pins work. Okay. So what are we going with? Are we going
up?
Arrow up?
Yeah.
So this way up?
Yeah.
Solid logic. I feel like I'm working on a V8 supercar right now. Slip that in. Does the hole? My hole's just in the right spot. Slip that in. Look, that looks okay, I would say. Yeah, ish.
Yeah.
That looks legit, Naz.
It does. It looks legit as. Looks good.
Yeah.
I kind of like that we didn't paint it all. It looks new, but it looks old.
You feeling alright?
Oh, I still want to paint it.
Alright, what are we doing?
Alright, so to go with this, we have a brand new set of shock absorbers.
We weren't going to put these in, but we figured they take 2 seconds to put in and out.
Yeah.
So we might just put them in now
And
anyway.
when we brake test, we don't want the car to go...
Yeah. Like an old 1970s
we
caddy.
thought we might just throw these in. They take 5 seconds.
Oh, they're not red. I thought they were going to be red.
Yeah, I thought they were too. And up we go.
Alright, let's bolt her in, Sally. Let's go. Does actually look really good.
It does.
I don't know whether to paint it now. I do like the old against new. What do people reckon? Should we paint it all black? Or do we just leave it as is? With new bits on it, whatever we put on is new, whatever we don't is old. Put in the comments what people reckon. Paint it or don't paint it? Even Nathan's thinking about not painting it. Are you actually not thinking about painting it?
Yeah, I think just leave it.
For that really ruddy look?
Authentic barn find.
Yeah.
Alright, what are we up to next?
Shocks are in. Wasn't too shocking. Now we're going to move on to... before we do the shocks up and everything up there, we thought while we're here, we're going to fill the transmission full of fluid because we'll forget. So what I need to do is I need to replace this here, because if you come around to this side, you'll see the collar that holds this speedo cable in place. I broke that the other day when I tried nipping that up, and now it's half a collar. Oh, now it's even a quarter of the collar. So we need to replace that.
Did you break it or was it already broken?
Nah.
Because it was leaking from it, wasn't it?
Well, I don't know. I tried to nip it up because it was leaking from it, and as soon as I went to nip it up, I put some pliers on it. It just fell to pieces.
Yeah.
So maybe it was both. Who knows? In this bag here, hopefully, have a new one. I haven't even opened it up to have a look yet, and it should have a full collar or nut, whatever you want to call it, which looks right. So that's good. So we'll take this one out.
Yeah.
And feed this through to the speedo.
Ooh.
So maybe we feed this through the firewall first.
Yeah.
So we come down with it?
Yeah.
Okay. If I push this through, can you grab the cable and pull it through?
Got it.
Pull.
There we go. There we go.
I'll just wait.
It doesn't even matter, this floor's gonna come out anyway.
True. You watch me cut through it. Let's take a mental note that there's a speedo cable that runs directly under the floor plate.
God, that's funny.
We don't need a repeat of the GT. Now this is how I broke the last one, so I'll just do it gently this time, mate.
Yeah. Oh. Nice.
Good as new. Alright, let's
Fill her up?
Fill her up. See this work. Oh, never fails this thing. You say when. I hope you say when soon.
Yep.
It's pouring out.
Yep.
Oh, how good's that?
So we have our empty master cylinder. So obviously we're going to bench bleed it before we put it in the car. And this is always fun.
Yeah. Alright, got the bench. I want to see this car stop.
I know.
Why does the front one seem to be...
The front one's not doing anything.
That's concerning.
Push harder. Yeah, there's nothing.
Well, that's not good.
Oh no, if the fluid's coming out. Huh, that isn't good.
Shall we check to see which system that is? If it's the front system? Alright, so we had the issue just then where the back here, which is the front circuit, confusingly, was flowing fluid, but the front wasn't. No fluid at all. We took the cap off, or the reservoir off, to look underneath to see if there was like an obvious blockage or anything like that. Nothing of the sorts. And then Nathan came up with the idea, I wonder if, like, for some reason, this needs to be a closed circuit and have enough pressure to actually get this one to activate. For some reason, maybe it's got a check valve in it or something. We don't exactly know. So we put some pressure on this by putting a screw in the end of this to build some pressure, and we did notice a little bit of movement of fluid, and then it sort of died in the ass after that. So either we've killed the master cylinder or we've figured out what we would need to do.
I think it just needs pressure.
So basically what we're going to do now is try and put it in to see if it works, because otherwise I think we got to take it back to...
If it doesn't bleed, it doesn't bleed, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it bleeds, it bleeds. If it dies, it dies.
Drop her in, let's see if this works. I'm kind of not that hopeful, but we'll see. Are you confident?
I'm hopeful. I'm confident.
I don't know, it seems a bit weird, but we'll see. The question is, when we fill this up, are we going to have a pedal almost instantaneously compared to what we used to have?
Yeah, true. Oh yeah, we had nothing last time.
Yeah. This looks like a Japanese water fountain.
Alright. Who's pumping?
You can pump, I'll bleed.
Pump it up. Alright, you ready to see if we have a pedal?
Yeah, just see what happens.
Are they? Just went to the floor. Oh no. No, I'm getting feel.
Oh well, that's good. I guess we'll bleed it and see what happens.
Yeah, no, I'm getting some feel.
Okay.
Oh, let's bleed it.
Alright, let's see what happens. Alright, so we've tried bleeding the brakes. We got nothing from the rear and we got nothing really from the front, so we actually went to using a vacuum bleeder to see if we can pull some through, because we figured the lines would be so empty because we blew air through them. We've got a little bit coming through the front, not a great deal. We haven't tried putting pressure under the pedal yet. So what we're doing now is going to look over all the brakes, the brake lines, to make sure there isn't any kinks or anything, especially in the rear system that's stopping fluid from getting drawn through. We need to make sure that they are clear and working. Hopefully they're not like full of rust or something. They're all clear.
Yeah.
No damage to them.
Nah. I guess we'll just keep trying.
Just keep trying and see what happens.
Yeah.
Alright. So what we're going to do now is we're going to bleed the front, because we've got some fluid at the front. We're going to bleed the front, see if we can get pressure, and hopefully that pressure will somehow make the rear work. We don't know exactly how that science works, but we're going to try it anyway. Up.
Up.
Down.
Down.
Up.
Up.
Down.
Down.
Up.
Up.
Down.
Down.
Up.
Up.
Alright, I'm going to stop there.
Looking at Gemini forums.
So we have front brakes now. We still don't have any rear brakes. We just tried pumping rear fluid to the rear brakes. Still got nothing. So we don't know exactly what's going on just yet. I did just find a leak in the rear brake system, in the fitting down there on the brake distribution valve. I've nipped that up, hopefully that stops it from leaking. Maybe that's the issue, but I doubt it. What I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen this fitting off here and just see if it starts to leak out there or not. If not, then we know it's the master cylinder, and the master cylinder isn't pumping to the rest of the system. Okay, let's loose now. Moment of truth. Go. Nothing. Nada. Not a thing, not a drop, not a drip, not a tear, not a sprinkle.
That really sucks.
Not a leak. Oh wait, go again. Oh, go again. Ah, stop.
That's why we bench bleed, folks.
Go again. Okay, stop.
How much is coming out?
Like the right amount. What just happened?
So there's brake fluid everywhere?
Yep. And now I've got no hope of doing this fitting up again. Alright, let's try it again, see if it works with any luck. If I see fluid up here, I'll be a very happy man. And if I don't, I'll still be happy, but still.
Alright, you ready?
Yep, down.
Down.
Yep.
Up.
Up.
Down.
Down.
Up.
Down.
Down.
Up.
Up.
No, I'm getting no fluid. Like, I'm getting no air bubbles, no nothing. Did the reservoir drop at all?
It's bubbly.
Alright, let's try at the distribution valve, see if we can crack that.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we've disconnected the line from the master cylinder to the brake distribution block. See, we get fluid from there, and we get fluid from here, then we go further down the line. Basically see where the fluid stops. Go again. Go again. Stop. Go again. That's working.
There's fluid.
There's fluid. So now,
that block must be blocked up.
well, I'll crack it at the back and I'll see if it's working at the back.
Yeah.
It's a long process. So the problem looks like it is actually in the brake distribution valve at the moment. Looks like it's probably seized up or something. So I'm going to take the line off the back. If we do get fluid, then it's down the line.
Yeah.
If we don't get fluid, then it's in the brake distribution valve. So let's do that and see what we come up with, eh?
Yep.
I'm wondering whether because the lines were open for so long, like because the back system looked like it was no fluid in it for so long, has the line just completely rusted up?
Yeah.
And is it just blocked up, you know?
Yeah.
That could be a very real possibility, I guess. Okay,
Ready?
go. It came out.
Yeah, sure did. I just felt it.
Alright, so that means that there's a blockage further down.
Yeah.
So we'll go down to the... I'll try bleed it again.
Yeah.
And if that's blocked up, we'll crack it at the T-junction and just keep working our way down. But the good bit is that means that the brake valve is good, so we don't have to change that, which means the Sandman's safe.
The Sandman almost became a parts bin.
Yeah, the Sandman always became a fast bin just then. It just went, oh, thank God. Alright, go.
Oh, I'm pedal feel. It's not hard.
Alright, hang on, you're just pumping out heaps of ugly poo, so...
I wonder if we just flushed it.
Yeah, I wonder whether we did that. Stop there, because I don't know how much fluid we got in there.
Yeah.
But that's looking better.
Okay, okay.
Maybe we can save this.
I really want to put more fluid in it.
Alright, so, situation report, this is where we're at. We basically worked our way down past the brake distribution block. We knew that we got fluid coming out of there, so then we worked our way back down to the next fitting. That next fitting was the fitting that goes into the flexible line which then goes in the diff. When I first cracked that, we didn't have anything. We thought, oh well, that's it, it's not working. And then Nathan goes, oh, I'll just try a couple more times. He pumped a couple more times, lo and behold, it chucked out a bunch of shit, and then it started flowing clean fluid again. Pretty clean fluid, actually, it turned out alright. So we thought, okay, sweet, no worries. We nipped that back up, we went to where the diff, then T-junctions to go either side of either brake, which is this line right here, and nothing again. So we think there's a blockage somewhere in this line here. So we're gonna see if we can blow some air through it and see what happens, but I don't know.
I think we're going to be stuck at there.
I think this could be the end as far as we're gonna get today.
Yeah.
The best bit about this is we know that the master cylinder is in fact working, there's nothing wrong with that. The brake distribution block is working as well too, as far as we can tell. The hard line, the main hard line that runs the length of the body, it was gunky and rusty, but it does seem to be clear now. I still don't know if that means we're going to change all the lines, all that line anyway, just to be sure. It'll be quite a hard job because it runs all through the body and runs with the fuel lines and over the drive shaft and everything. It'll just be a pain. So if I can avoid doing that, I will. If we get this working, what we'll do then is just flush it, flush it, flush it, flush it, and see if it keeps coming out clear. If it keeps coming out clear, I'll leave it as is.
Yeah.
If it becomes an issue down the track, I know that we've got to change that line out. We'll see. Let's see if we can blow some air through this, eh?
Nothing is coming out of that.
Nothing at all, is it?
No air at all. That must be so blocked up. Nothing. Nothing at all.
So this could be our problem. Damn it. That was... really hoping we were going to get away with that.
We were getting there, eh?
We were getting there. It was making... the fluid was making its way down. And then it comes to this. Of all things that I thought would be okay, this is what holds it up. I never would have guessed that. So you can see we got to here. This is where it's then failed. It's where it become blocked. I managed to get this fitting off this terminal, this block okay, but this one here was basically fused to the hose itself. So you can see it just ripped when I ripped it off. That's okay, we can repair these two. We might make new lines here because they're small and easy. The one that runs all the way to there. not so much. Yeah, that's kind of stopped us in our tracks now. We're gonna need to get a new one of these. And I didn't see one of these for sale, so I have to try see if we can find one or get a new one made. I don't know. I wonder if that fold on would work, because we could just change the fitting. Might go having a second look at that, eh? This is when you know we're getting desperado.
This is the dip for my XC.
Come on. That's the last bit of the puzzle. No?
I think they do, it's just I can't spin it, it's really rusted.
Try that, it'll be the same.
Is this the one that goes into the...
Well, it's the one that goes in the must, isn't it? It'll be the same.
Beautiful.
Alright,
This will work.
Let's do it. Does it work?
Oh yeah, it looks like nitrous purge. Oh shit, it's Brian.
Alright, we could be in business. It's going to be a last minute hustle because we're running out of time.
Last hurrah.
This is from the Falcon. It's going to go into the Gemini. I'm going to make some new brake lines up for the diff to hook this up. And we're going to see if we can get these brakes working and get this car driving by the end of the day.
Yeah.
Alright, so we've quickly slapped together some brake lines. We'll probably end up revisiting this at some stage, but don't forget this diff in the future finished product is not going to be here, so it probably doesn't really matter. We're just leaving this loose for now. We need to make a bracket that go from there to there, but at the end of the day, the Ford has saved us. We do have a T-junction on there now. Nathan made a horrible brake line that goes through here. I'd just like to show everyone how whoop-de that is. Mine's not too bad. Mine was a lot better until Nathan made his an inch short. And I had to bend it out to make it actually work.
Hang on, we threw it together because we've got to see if there's fluid that comes out.
Yeah, we've literally just thrown this together because we just want to see if this works. We're going to put some fluid in it now. We're going to see if we can get these brakes working. If they do, we're going to put it on the ground. We're going to drive it from there to there.
And then we're ending.
Ready? Down. Up. Down. Yes, we got fluid. Up. Down. Up. Good, I'm gonna go the other side. I reckon we got this. Yeah.
We don't need an X-Layer.
It's not in winter mode.
Oh, it's not choked up.
Yeah.
I should run that.
Let's just make sure it's secured, reset.
To be honest, it probably could be the fuel still. Alright, protect my except.
Safety first! Oh, not right.
But it stops though. Yeah, but hang on. There's still a shit ton of air in those lines.
Yeah, I know. Just, is there any leaks under it in a minute? Just have a look. I don't think I needed this. I wasn't going that fast.
Alright, go back and forward again.
Did that look at the rear?
There is.
Maybe the front's not bled, that's why.
No, it's not. Oh, at least it stops. We can bleed it another time.
Alright, so we'll admit we might have to go back and re-bleed the system because we kind of rushed that. There's probably still a fair chunk of air in it, but it's stopping.
Yeah.
For the first time in at least 10 years, it's stopping for the first time.
Doesn't run good.
But
it works.
It works.
Oh.
Wow, what a journey that was.
We said we'd be done 3 hours ago.
Yeah, we thought, after lunch we thought, this is going so well, we're going to be done in an hour. 4 hours later. All right,
Well, it stops.
it stops. That was a mad dash towards the end there because we had to finish up before the end of the day. But we got there. We probably need to go back over and
We
actually
need to pull the wheels back off.
yeah, we need to re-bleed it because the front brakes aren't quite working enough. It seems to be all back brake.
Yeah.
But they are working. Just needs to be re-bleed. We didn't actually go back and re-bleed it after we re-bled that rear system just because we were trying to save some time. But it's done. That is an achievement. Well done, my friend. She brakes after 15 something years or so of not braking.
And that was an effort as well. Like, what, you cracked every brake line.
Every brake line, and we basically followed that all the way through.
We just pushed all the rust through to that rubber hose line and then clogged up the rubber hose line.
Yep, and then the Ford saved it. So
Yeah.
that's a temporary measure. We will go back and revisit that. We'll definitely bracket it for roadworthy and all that, but we're not too worried about how that looks because, like we said, that diff's going to come back out. There's no way that's going to survive with whatever engine conversion we want to do with this afterwards or where we take this. So
Yeah.
anyway, if you like this episode and you want to see more like this, please consider liking and subscribing. It goes a really long way to helping the channel and helping us do what we do here. And you'll get to see where this thing ends up eventually and all the other mountain and projects that we have out there. And if you'd like to support the channel even further, you can head on over to our website where you can buy a bunch of Hackshop merch. And don't forget also, we are currently running the 20,000 subscriber giveaway. So make sure you head back, watch this video here to find out how you're going to enter that to win yourself one hull of an awesome Raceworks fuel system and a bunch of other goodies as well too.
And also don't forget to head over to Burson Garage. The link is in the description below, and head into your local Burson auto parts store.
Up, down?
Up, down.
Yeah. Word of the day has to be, because I'm sick of saying it, up, down. Anyone who comments up, down in whatever shape or form in the comments below, we'll pick 2 people at random and send out a Hackshop sticker pack. Anyway, we're done for the day.
Yeah, I'm wrecked.
Yeah, it's been a big day that took a lot longer than what we were expecting it to, but we got there in the end. So until the next episode, we'll catch you then. There's no toolbox there.
To the bloke that said that we can do an engine conversion, but we can't fit wiper blades, you're accurate.
That's exactly right. Look at the amount of grease. That ain't gonna squeak. You know what this is? That's airbag preparation right there. We were saying the other day, like these calipers are like twin piston calipers. Like they're better than HQ calipers. Like that's not bad. And then we looked at the size of the pad. I've seen bigger brake pads on bikes.
It's at that push bike brake pad.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see.
Flick the switch.
Oh, wrong one.
Flick the right switch.
Everyone's told me for a long time to panel van the wagon. And I've said, nah, I like the wagon. But now that I'm seeing the panel van, that's making me wonder.
What,
Do we-
fill it in?
Yeah, do we panel van this thing? I kind of like the wagon though too, that's the thing. Comment below, what do you reckon we should do?
Yeah, let us know.
Or do we coupe it?
Oh, yeah.
They go into the back of the piston, as so.
You just sounded like a cooking thing then. Okay, so we have our pads, and what you need to do is you need to put your pads in the pot.
Everything in pot. We're gonna make it one pot crock right now. Lightly season it, a dash of salt, and it's good to go.
Bum, bum, bum! It's totally flooded now. One wheel is locking up. My life flashed before my eyes then.
Up, down, up, down, up. I don't know what I've been told. Down,
Down.
up.